everyone, today I'm going to show you my top 5 must-have brushes for curly hair. I have 3 little girls with 3 different curl types and I use all of these brushes almost every wash day. The first product is a Detangler brush. This specific one is from the brand Easy Detangler. It has very flexible bristles that won't snag any knots you're trying to get through, and you can brush vertically for shorter hair and slightly less flexibility, or horizontally for longer hair and more flexibility. It's simple to clean as you can easily get to every part of the brush, and it has a nice grip on the handle so it's not hard to hold even with slippery product on your hands. It has a curved shape that hugs the shape of the head to brush a larger volume of hair at once. Before I got this brush, detangling took a lot longer and it was much harder to get through. To show you some examples, I use it on all of my daughters by starting at the end of the hair shaft and work my way up. I usually only detangle after putting in conditioner, which makes it much easier to glide through. I've been using it on my oldest daughter, who's now 6, for the last 3 to 4 years, and I use it on my youngest daughter starting when she was 1. It's also my preferred detangler even when the hair is not fully wet in the styles that I'm reviving but need to detangle first. I also use it when I'm pulling the hair up into a ponytail because I want the hair to be totally detangled so it's smoother when it's in that style. My most tender-headed child, who will cry and winces at any little tug, at least sits still using this Detangler brush. Any other brush used, she would try running away. The next product that's a must-have for me is the beloved Denman Brush. I have 2 of them because one of them has all the bristles in place, while the other one I removed every other row, which gives bigger curl clumps when you brush the hair. One of my favorite things about it is its curved rubber edge, which is why so many curly girls love it. The thing I love about it is how it gets curls defined when I'm doing a wash and go. When you take a section of hair and brush up and away from the scalp, it creates lifted, smooth, defined curls without having to finger curl little strands, and instead gets a larger amount of them at once. I also use it to even out product distribution by smoothing through the hair after products are applied. The smooth rubber back of this brush glides the product evenly on the hair strands. One of my other favorite things to use it for is ringlet curls, which again can take the place of finger curling. I think the Denman brush does a better and more efficient job of smoothing, so I tend to use it more than anything else. The next must-have item is a rat tail comb. This has a thin metal stick for parting large sections of the hair and a smaller tooth at the top for parting smaller sections of the hair. The thin metal stick makes for a very clean part, whether you're parting straight lines or shapes such as hearts. In addition to parting, you can use the smooth edge of the comb to smooth on product before braiding or doing any kind of rubber band styles. I also use the comb to comb through small sections of the hair at the root, such as when I'm doing a small section rubber band style, brushing through the length of the hair to make sure that the twists or braids are not frizzy but very smooth. I'll even use this comb to ensure that the hair in a ponytail is smoothed up all in the same direction. Sometimes, if you know, thicker hair is harder to get all of the hair in one direction when putting into a ponytail. The last thing I use the comb for is to smooth very small sections of hair when I'm finger curling. This is achieved by combing through the hair and smoothing the hair shaft along the curved edge of the comb before the finger curling process. This ensures that there will be no frizz whatsoever. The next brush that is a must-have for me is a toothbrush. I use the toothbrush for 2 different reasons. One, I do edges, and the second reason is to just slick up smaller sections of the hair. I hate doing edges with anything other than a toothbrush, and there are even some brushes specifically for edges sold on Amazon, but I hate them. They always turn in my slippery fingers after styling, and actual toothbrushes typically have a wider handle and some grip on it, which avoids that. In addition to edges, I'll use the toothbrush to slick up small sections of hair when I'm doing styles that are too small to use a bigger bristle brush, as you'll see in this video. The front section of Naomi's hair is small because of the braids, but the larger section is too big for the smaller toothbrush, so here's where we use a bristle brush. And this is a good segue now into the last type of brush that I can't live without, which is this bristle brush. I use a very thin 3-row medium stiffness bristle brush. The bigger ones are too difficult to use on the kids' heads, so the 3-row narrow brush is perfect. The bristles aren't too soft for their thick hair, so it's much easier to smooth all of the hair in one section upwards in the same direction. As I said before, a lot of thick hair, it's harder to get through, so you have to use these medium stiffness bristles to be able to pull up larger amounts of hair in one brush stroke. It's also curved to hug the shape of the head so that more of the section can be brushed at once. Be sure to subscribe to our channel, like the video, comment anything that you would like to see, but I will be having new product recommendations coming out next week.